Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera. I've talked about it a lot, and it's finally time to give it its own video so that I can share the story behind how and or why it came to mean so much to me. And I really owe it all to a cousin of mine who is a couple of years older than me. But back in the day when we were younger, she used to come visit us for a week or two every summer when she was up in our neck of the woods visiting other relatives. And the thing that I was always fascinated by with her is that it seemed to me like she had sort of this affinity for the arts in a way, specifically film and going to the movie theater and things of that nature. For example, she told me once, around the time that Curse of the Black Pearl came out, that she and her dad went to the theater to see it something like 7 times. And she was at one time, maybe she still is, I don't know, I'd have to ask her, but she could quote that movie script front to back. So, Phantom of the Opera comes out. I don't really know much about it, nor do I really have any true desire to. But for her, this thing was all the rage. She came to my house that summer, knowing all the words to every song, dancing around my room, hitting me with quotes, all that sort of stuff. And she said to me, you really should give this movie a shot. I think you'd like it. Now, of course, having my 10, 11-year-old boy brain at the time, my reaction to this was something along the lines of a romance movie, ugh. A musical, an opera, ugh. But she put the soundtrack in my stereo and I did nothing to stop her. And the more we listened to it, the more I kind of started developing a curiosity towards it. And I started asking more and more questions. And of course, like I said, I had never seen it firsthand. So I really had no way of knowing what this thing looked like visually, what the set pieces looked like, characters, any of that stuff. So all I was really running on was kind of using my imagination to bridge the gaps of the story that was being told to me via this CD as it was going through the songs. And I don't know if she intended on this happening. I don't know if she knew how hooked I really was. But it got to the point where she just said, hey, let's go see if we can rent this movie and watch it together. And boy, we must have watched that thing at least 2 or 3 times, maybe more, in the short rental window that we had. And I fell in love with it. So much so that I can remember pleading and begging her to leave the soundtrack with me when she left. And she did. Out of the goodness of her heart, I think she knew kind of the level that my infatuation was with it at the time. And she split it with me. The soundtrack, I believe, if I remember correctly, came on like 4 discs or something like that. So she gave me 2 and took the other 2. And I swear I probably listened to that thing at least once every day. Every morning before school, waiting for the bus to pick me up, on the bus ride to school, every spare moment that I had, that was what was in my CD player. And I I just loved it. Now I don't want to get too, dark, depressing, pitiful here. But I really think, as I got older, my relationship with this movie started to change. To start with, I just really liked the movie as the movie, for being the movie. But I got older, and I started experiencing a lot of the hardships of what my life was going to be like as a crippled person. And I started to look at the whole thing in a different perspective. And all of a sudden, I started to develop a very personal understanding of the Phantom character. I kind of forged a very deep connection or relation to what he was going through throughout the course of the story. The pain of heartbreak that we all go through, as well as kind of the anger behind being rejected by the world in which he is a part of, and those around him, and the stereotypes, the preconceived notions, the assumptions, and sort of the judgments of being in his situation, being kind of trapped in the body that he is in, and not being able to really do anything about it. And I just really kind of gravitated towards that psychology. I felt sort of a kindred spirit in relation to, what I have gone through and thought about myself at different times in my life and everything like that. But that is the bulk of why Andrew Lloyd Webber's adaptation means so much to me. And I don't really see a point in reviewing it, so I don't think I'm going to. I think I've said quite a bit about it in comparison to other adaptations, and I think I will continue that trend as we move forward with what's left. I can tell you that I watched the movie in preparation to making this video and telling my story, and it still holds up to me as beautifully as it did almost 20 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long already, but I think that's really all I have to say about the film adaptation. So I guess from here our journey is going to take us to the stage productions of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom story. So until then, you guys, I hope you take care of yourselves, be good to one another, and we'll see you very, very soon.